I do have a microphone set up, so we should be getting fairly good sound. However, just fair warning, the guys who are putting up the siding are working just a few feet from me on the other side of the wall, and they are going to be pounding siding and whatever else it is that they're doing. They did most of the demo this morning on that side, but now it's going to be some hammering. So hopefully the microphone is pointed away from them, so we'll be able to see you okay. I do want to say a warm welcome. Hopefully Irene is here. We have Irene from Greece joining me for what I believe is the first time. I'm really thrilled. It's exciting to know that something as simple as my little rug hooking lesson can go that far. Okay, so we are going to talk about finishing. And Janine, if I remember right, I think you might have been the one who asked me about that because I saw your name this morning and it reminded me to wear my pin. If you guys haven't seen this, oh my gosh, this is a great pin. It's nice and heavy and sturdy, and it gets your name. You have a choice of colors. Janine's husband makes these with a 3D printer, which is really cool. And they were all the rage at Solder this August. That's when I got mine. But um, Janine, please feel free to put your web link on there to your Etsy store because you can buy them through her Etsy store and get them. We're going to talk about finishing. Okay, so the question was, what finish do you use and do I always use the same kind? Well, the answer is kind of yes and no. For every rug, I pretty much finish it the same way. It's a link to my webpage on cindygayrughooking.com. What you need to do is go there, and if you type in finish in the search bar and then click on the entries that come up, click on the one that says archive because that's going to give you all 7 lessons. So you can go one through 7. The finishing that I like to use is a rolled forward finish. And the prep is, this one's better. This is the way I prep. Now, I used to do this interior zigzagging that you see here. I don't do this anymore. This was my least favorite part of the step. I did it because the instructions in Rug Cooking Magazine said to do it, so I did it. Then I got to pondering. The machine is very destructive, the sewing machine. It actually comes down and it splits fibers. So am I perforating the edge all the way around? I really don't need it. As long as I've got the outside edge zigzagged, I really don't need the interior zigzag. So I've stopped doing that. And there is a post in that archive. It might be the second or third. It's in there somewhere. I don't zigzag anymore. I do zigzag the very outside edge, mainly because that's for my comfort. So get that zigzag in right after you cut it. If it's a really large rug, I will cut one side, zigzag it. Cut the next side, zigzag it. And there's full instructions on this, and I will be I'll be taking those instructions, rewriting them, and putting them into a PDF download that you can download and print out because this is something you really kind of need by your side as you're going through it. So you'll be able to print that out, and then I'll also be shooting videos because this is the year of the video. So it'll make it easier for you to follow along with these instructions. But what I really want to say about finishing is to be aware of where the knife fold edge is. Okay, what that means is where is that first fold? That first fold, that's where it's going to rot. Now that doesn't mean if it's on your floor with foot traffic or if it's on your wall completely out of reach, that's where it's going to rot. Museums never store their textiles folded for that reason because they rot right at the crease. If you talk to a quilter, they will tell you the best place to store a quilt is on a bed. Why? Because there's no folds. fabric and textiles in general tend to rot where they're folded. So be aware of where the fold is. Now, on the finish that I prefer, imagine this area is hooked. I fold it over once, and then I fold it over a second time, and then that gets whipped. So the very first fold, this one right here, is 3/4 of an inch away from the hooking. That makes it possible then for someone who's conserving the rug later on to take the whipping out and to refinish the rug and to preserve the hooking intact. So the further away you can get that first fold, the better the finish, in my opinion. Now, that said, the best finish is the finish you'll do. If you're not going to do the finish, it's not a good finish, right? Our rugs sometimes sit in the closet without that edge being bound. So get them out, figure out what finish works for you. And even though it might not be the best, at least it's done and you've got your rug ready to go. So that knife fold edge is what's important. And again, the instructions for the rest of these steps, which will eventually get you to a finish that looks like this. And then what's nice, what I like about it is on the back, it's very clean. There's no rug tape. Anything you put on the back of your rug is going to trap dust and sand that might fall on your rug. So that's potential for more damage. So there's no rug tape, meaning there's no 3 a.m. I'm ready to finish, but I can't because I don't have rug tape moment, right? Okay. So it lays nice and flat. It doesn't tend to curl back. Some finishes tend to curl to the back point. So this is my favorite finish. This is what I teach beginners because I think it's the easiest finish. And again, those instructions in detail are on the website, and I will be writing up more concise, more updated, because they were written quite some time ago. I'll be doing some updated instructions on those. So if you're not a member of Cindy Gay Rug Cooking, be sure to go there and go to the bottom of just about any page and sign up for the newsletter. Even though I don't send things out very often, this winter I am going to be posting more and things will start going out again. And you'll be notified when these instructions are updated and printable. So there's pounding. Can you hear that? I don't know if it's picking up the microphone. But once you get your finish ready, there's different things that you can do. Here, I've crocheted the edge. With a long strip of wool. Now, in order to do this, I have, it's not within arm's reach, I have some wool yardage that instead of cutting this way and cutting off 1 yard pieces, I cut off 1 yard pieces going this way. So they're about yay big, but they're 45 feet long. And that's what I use to do this kind of a method because I hate working in these little tails. And if you're an experienced rug hooker, this will take you no time at all. The problem with it is this is not a very long-lasting finish. I have this finish in a rug that's in my studio on the floor. Jack is usually laying on there. He's not there at this moment, but it tends to break, because the fiber is not close. Like with whipping, it's really close and tight so it doesn't get damaged. This is easily damaged, and I have to get down with a needle and thread and kind of sew it together. Someday I'll have to pick out the end and zip all this off and either recrochet it or simply whip it. Okay, so that's finished, but I want to show you briefly the other finish. This one. This is the second most used finish that I use, and this is the one I use for my stair risers. I call it Barb Carroll's finish simply because she's the one who showed me the finish. And if you can imagine, if this side was completely hooked, this would be right up against, I'm trying to figure out where, I know I had a stair riser somewhere sitting around. But what's nice is the loops are there. You really don't even see the whipping. It doesn't take up any extra space. But if you view the rug from the side, you don't see any of the white backing. And this one, I don't have detailed instructions, but I'll be working on that when I do the finishing thing. And it's simply folded back at the loops, but not folded back real tight. It's folded back in a relaxed manner, which leaves maybe a thread or so, maybe a thread and a half, sitting there. And then you simply whip it. And when I do that finish, I do whip directly into the rug tape. But it is important when you're all done to stitch down this little piece of backing that's loose. Don't leave that loose in there because we don't want friction. So you got to stitch that down, but that can be big basting stitches. And then stitch your rug tape down, and that gives you a nice clean finish. So that's what I use on stair risers, because there's only so much room in a stair, and I don't want to give up this much space times 2 in order to get my design to fit. And it's heartbreaking when it doesn't fit. That's happened to me. For those of you who are joining me for the first time here on Facebook, I had been doing this type of thing using a webinar platform. The problem is, if you had an Apple mobile device, you could not watch live. And there's just too many of you out there that it wasn't right. And they had been promising me since March that they would get the app out, and they just haven't gotten it yet. So I'm going to kind of go by the wayside, and Facebook is making some big improvements. This week, they've released the ability for me to schedule these so that you'll see it pop up that there's one coming up. You can put it on your calendar. The other thing that you can do is you can head over to rugcamp.com/live and sign up there for the email reminders. And I send those out usually the night before. Lately, I've been doing like sometimes even the day of, so I'm not so good on it. Okay. Lisa is asking about the pattern for the IKEA stool. A little bit of dead air. Sorry about that. I do have the footstool finished. I was able to finish that at Sauter Village this past weekend. We had a 3-day hook-in, which was absolutely amazing. And I do have to make a little bit of adjustments to the pattern. So I'm glad I didn't rush out and publish them. So I'll be making those adjustments, getting all those images uploaded, and getting the pattern available to you. And I've shot video all the way through the putting it together process. So I will have a video that goes, or maybe probably a couple different videos that go with it. But those won't be available right away. But you need the pattern first anyways, right? So we'll do it that way. The other announcement, how are we doing on time? Oh, I'm done a little bit early. As far as announcements go, the color planning course, if you don't know about that, go over to rugcamp.com/colorplan. And there, or even on the homepage, there's a link that says something about learn more. And take a look at that. The price is increasing. The more I put into the course, the more valuable it is. And I started the price out very low, and I'm gradually going to get to where I want it to end up, which is about the price of the instructional fee for a common workshop. And the information that I'm teaching you is video. You can watch it anytime you want. You can watch it over and over. All the information about the color planning course is on that page, so you can go there and see the information. If you felt this was valuable, can you please share it? That will definitely help to get the word out. So that's it. Bye for now.